Hey everyone, I know canning dog food is a popular topic on our Rebel Canning board, and so I wanted to tell you how I do mine. I've been doing our dog's food for about 2.5 years now. I asked the vet shortly after our older schnauzer, Frosty, had had her second intestinal surgery if it would be okay, instead of paying the really expensive amount of money for the pricey dog food, it was okay if I made my own. And she said sure. She had no problem with that. And I asked her if she would give me a breakdown on what she wanted the dogs to have nutritionally wise, because I didn't know what was, I could read the ingredients on the bag, but I really didn't know what percentage. So she recommended for our dogs, they're miniature schnauzers, they weigh about 15 pounds each. She recommended that they have a third fat, a third protein, and a third carbohydrate. So when I started making their food, our older schnauzer weighed 22 pounds, which was way overweight for her. Within the first 4 months, she dropped to 15 pounds, which was her perfect ideal weight. Our other schnauzer, who's 8, she weighed in at 20 pounds and dropped to 17 pounds, which is her perfect weight because of her muscle tone. So the vet was very pleased. And I've kept up with it. She said a lot of people will start, but they will quit making the food because it just gets too time consuming. But I found ways to make it quick and easy for me. So this is what I do. I start out and I take and do about 6 cups of rice in the crock pot with chicken broth or turkey broth, whatever broth I have. I'll cook it. And then after it cooks, I'll put it in a large bowl, and then I will mix it with a half a bag of the big huge bag you get at Walmart of mixed frozen vegetables. And then I added in this time a can of 100% pure pumpkin. Now this isn't the stuff with the spices. This is just 100% pumpkin because it's always in the expensive dog foods and the dogs love it. So that goes in, and then she recommended that I add a fat. So I chose to use coconut oil because it's pure and it's not as hard on their bodies as like a lard would be from an animal fat. So I put in the coconut oil, and then I add in whatever canned meats that I happen to have that I want to use up. So what I do is I will can our meat, and then when it gets to the point where I think it's too long for us to use, I'll use it for the dog food. So this one was canned in 9 of 2014. So it's just chicken breast. So what I do is I pour that into the mixture. I get it in here one-handed. And you can see we've added another member to the family this year. This is Tom. He showed up on our doorstep in July, and he also loves the homemade pet food that I make. So he also benefits from it. I will take and divide a quart size jar between the animals. So the dogs will split it, and then he will get a little bit, and I mix in with a little bit of his dry food just because I don't have the ratio yet from the vet of what a cat should have, and I know their needs are a little bit different, so I do give him some dry cat food along with the homemade cat food. So another item that I add to the mix, if I use all one meat, it's fine, but I also have these beef tips I canned in 15, so I'm going to pour those in and mix those into the food. And then I will add in broth, and this broth is turkey broth that I just canned last month. So I'll mix all that together. And when I took the dogs this summer to the groomer and the boarder, he's the same person, he was told us when he picked us up, he was really surprised because most animals, when they're boarded, will boycott their dog food or their pet foods because they are upset that their owners have left. Well, not ours. He said as soon as he opened it up, 1, he noticed it smelled good enough that he could have eaten it, and 2, the dogs ate it like there was nobody's business, like they didn't have any problem. Well, that's true because it's all natural and it's fresh, and it smells delicious. Now, I don't think most humans would want to eat this. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, it's just that I wouldn't recommend it because the flavors are a little off-putting with the coconut oil pumpkin, beef, turkey, chicken, vegetable mixture. Sometimes I'll add in some cranberries or some banana just to give some extra to it. It just depends on actually what I have on hand. And I forgot, I do also put some parsley in for their breath. In the summertime, I'll add in garlic, but I don't add in garlic in the wintertime since we don't, we're up here in northern Indiana and it's a high of like 15 degrees today with a low of 14 tonight. So we're not worried about fleas and ticks right now. So I don't worry about putting the garlic in. You can put a little bit. Some people warn you garlic can be poisonous, yes, in large amounts, but a little bit helps keep the fleas and ticks down. So I add a little bit of that to their dog food in the summertime. Sometimes I'll add sweet potatoes if I can get a deal on sweet potatoes. Sometimes I'll add in other vegetables if I can get those on sale. So there's some of the parsley that I've added in. So the main thing you just want to remember is always ask your vet first what she recommends for your specific animal type and breed, because they do have different requirements. Some have allergies. So make sure you pay attention to what your vet wants them to have, and then make up your mixture. And when it's all ready, I put it in jars and I put it in the pressure canner. And because it does have meat, I do it for 90 minutes for my quarts. It would be 75 if you did it in pints. So there you go. That's how I make my homemade pet food. Thanks for letting me share. Bye.